Have you ever wondered what it costs you to be the strong one? The one who never needed help, never showed too much emotion, never asked for anything. For many of us, the cost is losing touch with the most precious part of ourselves, the inner little girl. She was once full of life, curiosity, and raw emotion. But somewhere along the way, she was told to be quiet, to be good, to be strong, and so she disappeared into the shadows of your mind. Carl Jung believed this part of you doesn't vanish. She waits. And until you meet her again, your truest self will remain locked away. When you feel exhausted in love, disconnected from joy, or like you're constantly not enough, it isn't weakness. It's the voice of that forgotten little girl, crying to be seen. The abandoned child. Jung called these forgotten parts the shadow, the hidden self we were told not to be. And for so many of us, the inner child lives there. She carries deep wounds, fear of abandonment, fear of not being enough, fear that love must be earned. And from that shadow, she guides your reactions without you knowing it. Maybe you panic when someone pulls away. Maybe you shrink when criticized. Perhaps you work yourself into exhaustion trying to be perfect. These aren't flaws, they are echoes. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Your childhood wounds create hidden maps. They make you fall for emotionally unavailable people. They make you accept criticism you don't deserve. They make you give and give until you're empty because your inner girl is trying to rewrite a story where she was once left behind. The ego steps in to protect her. You become the achiever, the caretaker, the strong one. But deep down, you feel empty, never safe to truly rest or be soft. This is not failure. This is survival. But it doesn't have to be the end of your story. The block stream. Think of a stream flowing through a quiet valley. At first, it's cool and fluid, winding naturally around rocks and trees. It flows by instinct because it simply is itself. But one day, the stream encounters a massive boulder. To keep existing, it must change course. It learns to flow through cracks, to slip through narrow gaps. It begins to believe that if it flows too strongly, more obstacles will appear. Your feminine energy is like that stream. Sometimes gentle, sometimes fierce, but naturally free. Yet you've placed so many rules upon yourself, so many beliefs that whisper, I am only worthy when I make others happy. And like the blocked stream, the deepest part of you no longer reaches the light. The path home. The feminine isn't a weakness. It's power in stillness, in intuition, in natural flow. It's the part of you that whispers, you are safe, you can let go now. However, this aspect is often obscured by years of effort and control. Because once, softness got you hurt, vulnerability got you rejected, so you built walls, and those walls became your identity. Healing begins with turning inward, not to fix yourself, but to remember who you were before the world told you to be someone else. Jung called this journey individuation, not becoming perfect, but becoming whole and integrating what was left behind, making peace with what you once rejected. The little girl in you doesn't need to be silenced anymore. She needs to be heard, seen, held. The practice of return. Hold a photo of yourself as a child. Look into her eyes. Ask her, what did you need? What did you feel? What did you believe? Write to her. Tell her, you were never too much. You are not a burden. You are so loved. Close your eyes. Place your hand on your heart. Invite her forward. Let her speak. Listen without judgment. When you do this, something shifts. You stop searching for love that hurts. You stop giving pieces of yourself away to be accepted. You start coming home, reclaiming joy. Your feminine essence isn't something you need to earn. It has always been there, beneath the armor, behind the fear, waiting. So let her play again. Dance barefoot in your living room. Sing loudly in the shower. Cry freely when you need to. Paint without purpose. Speak your truth even if your voice shakes. This is how you remember. This is how you reclaim your soul. When the fear rises of rejection, of being too much, of being unlovable, remind yourself, that fear is not the truth. It's an old voice from a wounded time, and you no longer have to obey it. You can choose joy, you can choose to rest, you can choose pleasure, you can feel good without earning it first. You can trust your body, your timing, and your instincts. The new foundation. Confidence doesn't come from never falling. It comes from standing back up and saying, I'm still worthy, I'm still whole. Speak to yourself with the love you needed as a child, the patience you craved, the safety you longed for. When you catch yourself being harsh, pause, ask, what would I say to comfort a frightened little girl? Then say those words to yourself. I'm here with you. It's okay to be scared. You can still show up. Your voice matters. The awakening. When you sit with that inner child, when you let her cry and sing and dream without shame, you're not just healing a memory. You're unlocking the very source of energy that's been buried too long. Your sacred, instinctual, whole feminine essence. This journey isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you've always been underneath all the protective layers. The vibrant, emotional, authentic, light-filled person you were before the world taught you to dim your brightness. Remember, vulnerability isn't weakness, it's a sign of courage. Your intuition was once your compass, needing no reason to be trusted. Love, creativity, joy that makes up the beauty of your soul has always been within you. Never lost, only waiting to be remembered. Coming home. You were never broken. You were only waiting to come home to yourself. The little girl inside you has been patient. She's been holding space for your return. She's been keeping the light on in the deepest part of your heart. Now is the time to take her hand, to honor her dreams, to protect her tenderness while celebrating her wild, untamed spirit. Because when you heal that inner child, you don't just change your own life, you break generational patterns. You model a different way of being for everyone around you. You become living proof that it's possible to be both strong and soft, both grounded and free, both protective and open. This is your invitation. This is your calling. This is your time to remember who you really are. Welcome home. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, not just for more content, but to join a growing space where truth, healing, and self-discovery matter. This is Psyche Thera, and your journey is just beginning.